it takes to make money. But you have to study successful people and see what they're doing, copy them. So, and what gave me this mindset was when I left my church. I used to attend Mountain on Fire. I left Mountain on Fire and I started going to Salvation Ministries. And David Oliver was always talking about, getting knowledge, building capacity. He's always quoting this scripture from Daniel. I, Daniel, grew by reading. So I was like, okay, if this man can be where he is today by reading, you know, let me to start reading. So I started reading. Where it all changed for me was when I attended one workshop. In that workshop, that workshop was around December. The guy was like, most of you are here, like you've not even read a book this year. You had to expect to improve your life. You know, I found myself, I started I stopped watching, listening to podcasts from rich people. I listen to people like Rob Moore, I listen to Bob Proctor, I listen to a lot of people. And when I'm sleeping too, I don't play music to sleep. I do other things like it feeds my subconscious, and I start to think like that. I don't watch movies anymore. I watch YouTube videos. Like I'm always in the now. What can I do to make money? Or how can I leave this my predicament? How can I leave this situation that I am? How can I get better? How can I live a better life? I'm always saying it. I want to live a better life. I want to live a better life. Like I'm always using it to bring pain in my ear. Like nah, like I cannot continue to live like this. And we paid off eventually. So my child hard, and now things have changed. When you look back at things now, where was the major turning point of your life? Yeah, like I said, the major turning point of my life was when I attended one workshop like that. And at that time, the guy, him and his brother, they were really doing good, because that workshop was organized by two brothers. At that time, the guy kind of like gave us a sneak peek to how much he was making monthly. At that time, it was good money to me on 500, 700K, 800K monthly. I was like, oh, if I can even be making like 100K sales. That was like a turning point. I started to listen to him and pay attention. Who came to that workshop and he left empty. But myself, I did not just leave empty, I left with something. My life went better. That period was after I came back from school. I went to school. I schooled in Yabatech, by the way, and I was not serious with school because things were not really okay with me while I was in school. I slept in the school chapel. Most of my stuff was stolen, mosquitoes. I was always getting sick. So always needed money to get some stuff, to get handouts, to feed. So I just resorted to working. I was working as a waiter. I was working for some companies. I worked for Malas. I worked for Casagidi. I worked for Hamptons. I don't even know these catering companies. I worked for all those companies and I was making around 2,000, 3,000 per, per event that we go to. So I was using that one to sustain myself. I was not really serious with school. And when I was going for all this event, because it was a rich event, it was opening my eyes to a lot of not opportunities, but seeing that people can make crazy money. And I was working as a waiter, but I did not see myself. I was not seeing myself as a waiter. I was seeing myself in the shoes of those people that I was serving. I was seeing crazy lifestyle because yeah, we went to some really really big events. This guy, what's his name? Oh, Laipo. I was we were one of the people that served in his wedding. When Jazzy came and celebrated. So like we go to all these big events. I see people with money. I see how very soon. This is gonna like it's always ringing in my head. It's more than this very soon. My money goal is crazy. When I said I made 100 million, a lot of people were like going crazy, like guy, be quiet, like 100 million is so much realistic, blah blah blah. Why you lying? But, like your mindset is not like limiting you. I'm very delusional, like, and when I want something, I go for it. If I don't get it, I go hard until I get what I want. Your blueprint to your first 100 million. All right, so the first thing I did was I wanted to be a personal brand, right? But I did not have the tools. I did not have a good phone. Everybody is on social media, and you have to need to get people to be interested in what you do. And when you get people to be interested in what you do, you can sell them your product and they will buy from you, right? So I'm like, I need to be on social media, but I did not have all this things. I did not have a good camera. I did not have mic. I did not have a good background. All of those stuff. So I'm like, okay, instead of me to just be whiling away time and waiting for when I'm able to get all this stuff, why not start posting your business? Like I was editing videos and posting without having to show my face, and getting clips online, editing it, adding a voiceover, making it motivational, make it educational, and I posted online, and I was able to grow my first 1 million, page. So yeah, I built my page to 1 million followers, and then that was where everything changed. I started getting brand deals. I get creators reaching out to me to promote their stuff to my audience. So, for
How long
example,
did you run the page for?
I was able to grow to 1 million followers in 5 months. I started in October 2023. This was not my first business page, by the way. I just wanted to do something online, right? So I tried YouTube, but I was always getting hit with copyrights. So I was like, okay, I don't know how to figure out this copyright stuff. So let me start posting on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok. So I started posting on those three platforms, and in the first 4 weeks of posting on Facebook, I grew that account to 100,000 followers. And then from there, I got my first brand deal on Facebook account. I'm not calling it brand deal. I got my first promo deal at someone reached out to me like, I want to something to your account. I gave like $100 for it, and I promoted it. Well, the money wasn't coming in like that. So but I was always selling mentorship to my audience, like teaching them how they can grow a faceless page and make money for themselves. But I was not actually selling a lot. I was not actually making money like that. I was selling to my Nigerian audience and selling it cheap. Because I needed to help people to grow so that they can see that this guy can actually do what he said he's doing, right? I was teaching people, and some people got results for themselves, but I got my first hit when I built this my page, and it was one of my neighbors. Her name is Chidema. Shout out to Chidema, by the way. She was like, "You're really good at this faceless stuff." Because I started teaching her. I started teaching her how she can also create faceless page. She was like, "Why not create the second page?" Yeah. And I was like, "No, I don't want to create the second page. Maybe when I create the page to about 200K or 300K, I'll create another one." But as she said that thing, she was like, "Okay." I did not have rest. Like the thing kept ringing in my head. Build another page, build another page, build another page, build another page. I was like, for 4 days, I was not having rest. I was like, okay, let me just build the page, and I'm really really glad I did. Because 5 months later, 1 million followers, brand deals paying me thousands of dollars monthly. There was a month I even made about $12,000.
Wow.
That is how it happened.
So when did this happen? What year was that?
Yeah, 2023 was the year I left my parents' house.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was trying a lot of different things. I was doing affiliate marketing. That one was not really working out for me. Okay, I was like, okay. I started selling. No, I was selling some digital product. I created Facebook ad product, created video editing. I was selling those products to be able to sustain myself because I was living alone now. Nobody was there for me. I was the only one that was helping myself. But I was not actually getting sales like that. So I started my business page. I started it on Facebook first and on YouTube. But YouTube was not actually working, so I just doubled down on Facebook and Instagram before I now like created the other one in October of 2023. I also did Amazon KDP. I did what else? I did a lot of stuff online. I was just finding ways to make money. Because I needed to make money for myself. I needed to see money to even eat. Like I drank Gary to the point that I now have Gary PTSD. Like if I see Gary, like I get traumatized. I'll be remembering those things, and like I don't want to see anything like that.
What year would you say you made the most money from social media?
I'll say 2024.
Um,
2024, I made about 60 something thousand dollars. 60 something thousand dollars.
in 2024
Yeah.
of your social media pages.
Yeah. That was when I made my first million, and that was when I like you know made up to 60 something thousand dollars.
So what would you say your net worth is right now?
It's growing, so I don't want to put a figure out there because I don't know. I don't know.
They always trying the figure 100 million.
Yeah, I just had to just round it up, but it's still
It's
growing.
more than that.
Of
Wow.
course, it's more than that. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Now let's talk about Nigeria. There are so many people having millions of views, but they are still broke. Right. What are you doing differently than them? And what should they be doing differently to be able to monetize the right way?
Yeah, I talked about this in one of my videos. The reason why a lot of people are broke, they have millions of followers. Like, there's a guy that reached out to me after I watched my video. It was like, I mean, this guy has hundreds of thousands of followers, right? And he was telling me that, like, he doesn't get paid from doing this thing he's doing, and I was touched. But I know that that's the reality of some influencers in Nigeria. Like, they have this much clout, but they don't know how to monetize it. And that is because it's not just about having followers, right? You have to build a community. You have, like, someone like VDM now built a community. Someone like Pella built a community, and that is why his community will always turn up for him. Like, they will always show him love. They will always, like, if Pella decided to sell a product, the guy will make crazy money. I don't know what the nigga is doing. Like, if I have the kind of account Bella have, bro, I'll be rolling in billions because I know how to monetize my audience. Like, I know how to make money with social media, and that's what most of these other people they don't know. They just depend on brand deals. Like, nah, these brands are even like making banks off you, off your audience. If you decide to sell your own product, you don't need brand deals. If I become big today, I don't need to hell with brand deals. Brand deals. I don't need fucking brand deals. And that is why when that man is who he is, like, the guy is so fucking valuable, and he get a lot of people coming to him, but he doesn't do art. He doesn't need to do all those things. So, like, learn how to monitor your audience, create a digital product. You know, your product is already in your head, and it's your story. It is what you've solved for yourself. It is your transformation from where you were to where you are now. That is your product. And when you package it in form of a digital product and you sell it, you will make pounds. And that is what these influencers don't know. A lot of people are catching up. A lot of people are starting to, like, sell to the audience. But that is just few people that is coming to understand this social media stuff. If you want to make a big money, it's not through brand deals, it's not through um, what have you. It is by selling your own product to your audience. What is this guy's name? The Paul brothers, Jake Paul and Logan Paul, sell their own products to their audience. What is this guy's name too? The Rock. The Rock is selling to his audience. Even Kardashian herself, even Rihanna, Fenty, what's that product?
Twenty beauty.
Exactly. These people are selling to their audience. Selena Gomez is selling our own product to our audience too. This is how you make money. This is how you become a billionaire. You have to monetize your audience. You have to monetize your crowd. You don't just depend on brand deals. Brand deals is good. Yeah, you make on the brand, but how much are you making with brand deals compared to how much you make from selling your own product to your own audience? Most influencers don't know. Especially the ones in Nigeria. That's why they're broke.
Wow. As a multi-millionaire, what is it that you now understand about money that you never learned in school?
I said that money is a tool to make money. I used to hold money like, oh, this money I don't want it to finish. But bro, when people talk about lemon equally, the people lemon equal on stupid things, clubbing, um, rubbish, clothes, hairs. No, I mean those things are good. If you look what you have, right? But so we will just buy liabilities. I don't have yes, I don't have a car. I don't need a car at the moment. I want to have the money that can buy 10 cars. If I think of going to go and buy one. Some people will just make small money and they will blow that money, and before you know it, they're broke. I know where I'm coming from, and I don't want to go back there. So I don't need a car right now. I don't need to start building a house right now. I need to use that money to make more money for myself. Like that is what money is for. Money is a tool. And when you start seeing money this way, everything changes for you. You feel me? That is what I've learned about money. Another thing I've learned about money is that you have to invest your money. Like, you have to invest in your mind. You have to get more knowledge. You have to be able to use money to put yourself in circles and places that would help you make more money. So that is how I see money. I see it as value, and that is what making money helps you to see. Like you start seeing the world in another way. You start choosing peace and comfort over saving money. Like why save money that will give you that will stress you. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's talk about mindset and the 1%. Because I saw somewhere that you said you're in the 1%.
yeah, yeah.
What does that even mean?
But the 1% are people that are like the elites. I mean, there's a 1% and there's a 0.01%. I'm still aiming to get that 0.01%. But the 1% are people that are the elites. They make more money, they live better life, they have different mindsets. You cannot compare someone a 1% with a 99%. 99% of people don't have the right mindset. They just live life like that. Like they don't have clarity. They don't know where they are going. They're just living. They're not exist. I mean, they're just existing. They're not living. That is the 99%. The 1% is living. They have a goal. They know what they're chasing. They know what they want. That is the 1%.
Yeah. So, what is it that the 1% knows that the 99% doesn't know?
But the 1%, one thing that the 1% actually do is they read. I mean, some people have money and they don't read it, but you don't have to read. Sometimes you just have to change your environment. You have to put yourself in places that have the kind of people that think like you. Better now, because he has made money, the guy's thinking has changed. Someone that was very local, someone that knew that knew nothing about money and stuff, but now that he started making money, he started buying access, started entering places that people cannot normally enter anymore. And that changes your mentality, and that is that.
How can we be part of this 1% of people?
Well, it starts from the mind, right? If your mind is not right, your life will not go right. Like change your mind, change your thoughts, and change your life. We live in a mental world. You know, if you want your world to change your mentality. I always say like if you want to change your life, I will not be where I worked hard though, quite alright. I worked really hard, but all that hard work would not be profitable if I did not. There are a lot of people that work hard. I mean, there are a lot of people that work most money is the person that utilizes their mind. People, the MD, the CEOs, I mean, they don't really work hard than people that are, like laborers and all those other people, but they make the most money, and that is because they utilize their mind. So that like on the one piece, you have to start thinking with your mind, and not with your hands. I mean, working out is good, but working smart is better. It was like that for me too. Really working out, though, I'm not even gonna lie. Like I was really working out, and sometimes the people around you are the people that are pulling you back. I'm not gonna lie, to you. I love my family. I love my family. I will go to the end of the world for them. But I did not grow when I was still living with my parents. I did not grow. Like it was as if I was doing nothing when I was still with them. I was working and I was always staying up all night, learning, and it was as if they're pouring water on rock. Like nothing was going through. Like it was frustrating, but when I left, imagine I left in 2023 and 2024, I became who I am. So sometimes your environment, your environment is one that is dragging you back. You're trying all your best to, break out you back, like you're not going anywhere. They don't know this. Like your family don't know that they are pulling you back. They don't know. They love you. But if you want to make something for yourself, get out of that fucking house, bro. Like what are you doing with your life? Why are you still in your family's house? You know, Go out and make something for yourself. It was not easy for me. When I left my parents' house, I felt it. But that is the price you have to pay to get the life you want. Feel me? Like you have to get it. Like you have to think of life, and you have to be intentional about growth. Feel me? You have to be very intentional about growth. I left the house and things started to work. Like it did not really work out that year. I mean, that year I really struggled. I told you how I was drinking Dairo every day. That period I struggled, but I was not just seeing what was happening with me. I was seeing the future. If you check my phone, are you seeing this figure?
Mm-hmm.
That's like $2.5 billion.
Mm.
Like I was looking at it like this is my goal. Because how I arrived at 2.5 billion dollars is I looked at the number of people that when I sell my product, I'll be able to realize money in a year. Amongst those 25 to $2 billion in a day. So we have the same edge, but we don't have the same information. And I just need to get information that will help me get that kind of money.
What are the habits you've cultivated to make sure that you're on the path to getting this $2.5 billion you speak of?
I'm never going to buy. I'm relaxed. I've made money and I'm now comfortable and I hate it. I hate being comfortable. I like that drive, that grit, that resilience. And I'm not even going to lie. I've been chillaxing because I'm now comfortable. But I'm going to get my fire back and my drive back. But before I was able to come here, I mastered discipline. I used to be very anyhow. Like I don't care. Very nonchalant about life, about growth. Have no clue what I was doing with my life. But the moment I decided to start being disciplined with myself and with my life, it's when things started to make sense for me. First of all, when I wake up in the morning, I pray. I pray every single day. I communicate with God because God is my source. I'm a light, and my source is God. If I don't plug myself to God, I will not shine. So I always connect myself with God. Feel me? And then after prayers, I do my affirmations. Right? I tell myself this is what I am. I'm not there yet, though, but I tell myself I'm already making so amount of money. I'm already in this place. Before I got to my apartment, I told myself I'm living in a furnished apartment, and now like the house is furnished. It has already happened. I'm always doing these affirmations every single day. And at some point, it was looking like this thing is not working. But I'm like, what is your business if it's working or not? Is it not just to say it? You say it, you know, just say it to the universe, and the universe will, cause those things to align with you. Just say it and see yourself like create a mental picture of you in that space, in that environment, with what you see you have. I told myself I'm going to Dubai. I did not go to Dubai, I went to Qatar. Qatar and Dubai is still kind of, but I'll still go to Dubai. I went to China. I went to Tanzania last year. These three countries, I went there last year. So like I told myself, I'm making so amount of money. I'm doing this. I'm doing. I'm influencing billions of people. Because being able to influence billions of people, that's not how you will not become a billionaire. Mark Zuckerberg is a billionaire because he has influenced billions of people with his app. Elon Musk is a billionaire because he has influenced billions of people. If you want to become a billionaire, influence billions of people, solve problems for millions of people. Millions of people, right? But create something so valuable that people will pay you any amount, like pay you your price, and you'll be able to make $1 million or $1 billion. I'm getting there. It's just a matter of time. I have a friend that is billionaire in dollars and he's also like a billionaire. I was so surprised when he showed me his wallet. I knew this guy was big, bro, but I didn't know he was that big. Like, I saw about 3.5 billion naira, man. Jesus. And if you see this guy, very simple, like he wears a three quarter and pant and normal shirt. You never this guy doesn't wear designers. He just bought a car last year and it was the Camry he got. That is financial wisdom. You don't want to make 1 million naira and spend the whole 1 million naira. Like that's foolishness. You will suffer. And that's why some of these Yahoo boys, I mean, they worked for it, but in a corny way, and that's why when they just get it, they just blow it. And before you know it, they're back to square one. They're selling off everything that they got for even cheaper or lesser price than what they got it. It's just stupid.
Something you're speaking about that just made me think about the law of attraction.
Mm.
Can you explain how the law of attraction has helped you and how people can practice the law of attraction?
Yes. Yeah, you are what you think. Like if you think failure, you always get failure. If you think success, you always get success. For example, some people don't want to post, don't want to start posting online because they think, oh, like I'm not going to get views. Yeah, and that's why when they start posting, they're not going to get views. I just started posting recently, and at the moment I have 1,000 followers on TikTok. There's a people that I've been posting for as long as like 6 months ago, 1 year ago. They like they're still stuck at, you know, it's never like it's a lot, but for me, it's a lot. I like to celebrate my small wins, you know. So, I mean, I have followers, I have pages with over 1 million followers. So, what is 1,000 followers? It's still something to me because now I know 1,000 people relate to my story and they find value in what I teach and what I share in my videos. Yeah, and that is why they're following me. So, the law of attraction, you get what you think about. Even if it's not looking like that, you think if you imagine yourself in that situation, you create a mental picture of what you want in your head, and you see yourself in that light, you're gonna get it. And that is why attraction works.
So, would you say, you've manifested the life that you currently live?
I'm still a work in progress. I've not actually manifested the life I really want, you know. But I see myself doing crazy big things, you know. I see myself, managing corporations. I see myself influencing billions of people. Like I see myself saying something and a billion people are listening to me and following me. I want to be able to influence the world with my thoughts. I've not actually manifested that. Like that is my sole goal. Okay,
Are you a narcissist?
I'm a big one.
Because I saw one of your videos where you said you have to be a
Yeah,
narcissist to
you
be
have to be
successful.
self-absorbed. Yeah, you think about yourself. You have to be selfish.
Can you explain what that means?
A lot of people see narcissists as evil people, considered people. Well, I don't give a fuck what you think about me. Like this is who I am, and I like my space. I don't like to bring in people. So when friends want to see me, I be like, don't come. They'll be like, what is wrong with this guy? But that is just who I am. And I'm a very selfish person. I think about like if something is not benefiting me, I don't want to associate myself with people or things. You feel me? Like I'm a very self-absorbed person. I think about what am I getting from this. You know. So you need that kind of mindset to be able to achieve what you want. Yeah, but like you don't have to be like that for the longest. You have to be like that for the meantime. For a while and to get the world you want to get, and then you can now you know release and be free with people and share your world with other people. But while you're growing, while you're on the come up, you have to be selfish. You have to be stingy because when people start seeing that you're making money, they want to come and collect. They want to eat your money, but they don't know how you were staying up all night, how you were able to make that money, and they just want to rape you, and you don't have to allow it.
Good.
Yeah,
Yeah. You also said somewhere online that attention equals income.
yeah.
I understand the concept of that, but can you break it down in your own words?
Okay. Now, this influencer they have attention, but they don't know how to monetize that attention, and that is why they are broke. Attention is money. When you have a lot of eyeballs on you, when you have a lot of people watching you, listening to you, you should be able to influence people to buy your product. You should be able to sell something to them. And they do it in their own little way, through brand deals, they influence for brands. But that is you're not making the money you should be making. You're making these brands rich. And this brand are just giving you a fraction of what they're getting from your audience. You're the one that should be going like taking the whole pie, taking the whole cake. You feel me? But they are taking the whole cake and giving you a fraction. How much are they giving you? 1 million, 2 million, and I'm making like 20 million. That should be yours. You feel me? Like sell something to your audience. When you have attention, look at Andrew Tate. I talk about Andrew Tate a lot because That nigga inspired me. Like watching him shouting on me through the screen, you're broke, your life is miserable, go and do something with your fucking life. All that shit was entering my head like, bro, yes, your fault. A lot of people listen to it and you get triggered. A lot of people listen to me and be like, oh, he's a misogynist, this is that. And that is why they're where they are today. They are still broke, they are still poor, And yeah, and the state has its bad side. No doubt, everybody have their bad side. I have my bad side. Nobody's perfect. But you don't use because of that to discard the good things or the good things that they're saying. You take the good part and you discard the bad part. I have a lot of people that I follow and I learn from in terms of growing a social media audience. I don't just see myself sitting in my living room and creating content. I see myself going out there, influencing people, you know, touching lives with my videos. If you don't know how to maintain your attention, that's on you. Attention is money. If you have attention, you should be able to make money for yourself. You have to be reserved. You have to be strategic about how you build wealth. You know where you're coming from. You don't want to attract the mongers, the hungry people that will come and just eat your money and leave you. That's the girls now. When the money finish, they will leave you. You know. But I want to build something that is generational, that is lasting, like that it doesn't even finish. It's just like a fountain. It just keep pouring. That's what I'm aiming for. And when I get yeah, I mean, girls that knew me from before, when they talk to me now, there's changes. They call me with some respect. But I know their plans, and I know that these people are coming for something else. So I'm wise. Like right, so we should be wise as a serpent. So
What about your old friends? Do you still relate to your old friends, or have you changed since you started making a lot of them?
but the thing about growth is when you start growing, the people that you guys are friends, if they're not growing with you, like they just drift away. Like it is bound to happen. It is natural. Like it's not like you you caused it or anything. Like it is just growth happening, right? You get they see that you're not on their level anymore, and by themselves they withdraw. You know, yeah. So I had a lot of good friends, but before now, I'm a very emotional person. I love people, and even now I still love people. I was always trying to kiss people ass, like trying to get them to like me, and so I was basically a people pleaser, and I think that was how I was able to get my friends, by kissing their ass, trying to be friends with them because I wanted to be accepted so bad. I wanted to have friends so bad, so I would do anything it takes, But when I started to find worth in myself, I started to build myself, I started to add value to myself. I saw that I have no need for all those people that I'm trying to kiss their ass. And at this point in my life, so I can't even kiss anybody else. You like have billions of dollars, like that's your business. Like I know what I'm chasing. I did not get I got to where I am without the help of anybody. And not like I don't need anybody's help. You need people. You need people to be able to get things for yourself too. But I will not try to get people at the end of kissing us. I knew that my life was going to turn out different because I was always seeing things that I didn't like. I'm like, nah, like this is not going to be my life. Like I'm going to live a better life. And even though things I was saying were not actually coming that period, I knew it's just a matter of time. Like this life is not going to be my reality. Like this is the kind of life I want. And so when I started chasing that life, my friends started drifting away, and it's not like they drifted away. Like the level was different. So it happens
So does it feel lonely at the top?
a little bit. It does, but like I said, I like my space. I'm not. I don't feel lonely. I talk to myself. I'm crazy. I know. I talk to myself. I communicate with myself. I tell myself things, and sometimes it can be lonely, but it's not all the time,
So if you lost everything today, I mean the money, your pages, who is that person you reach out to first for help, and how would you rebuild?
All right, but I'll first of all pray to God. I'll first of all reach out to God, you know, and then I'll reach out to myself. I'll look inside. What can I give to the world? What value can I offer the world to, you know, make money, and I would put that out there and market it like crazy, talk about it like crazy, you know, get people to see the value of what I'm talking about. And does it? Someone just woke up one day and brought Labubu. Labubu is ugly. Like, what is so interesting about Labubu? But the person made billions from selling that shit. You know, it made people so interested in Labubu. Like, what the fuck is Labubu? So that is it. Look inward, find something. It could be anything. Bring it out, put it out to the world, talk about it, get people to be interested in it. And make your money.
So that will be your process.
That would be my process. And I would I would not start a faceless page. I would not start a faceless page because I mean growing a faceless page helped me to make money. But the reason why I did not create my own personal brand was because I did not have a good phone, I did not have a good background. Yeah. And I let that limit me. I let that stop me from putting myself out there. If I had put myself out there since 2023, I have a lot of things to offer, but I have a lot of value to share. People would have recognized the value in me and connect with me, and I would have been in a better place by now. I'm always advocating for people to put themselves out there. Like you don't know who's watching. You know, you might not see the value in yourself, but you might think you're cringe. You might think you're awkward. You might think you don't have value. But there's some people that are desperately seeking for what you have to offer. They find value in that in you being you. You know, who would have thought that someone like Pella would be who he is today? The guy that cannot speak English, like doesn't know how to articulate a sentence, but the guy is rolling in billions. I'm not even like that guy is a billionaire. I'm very sure about that. Someone that can buy how many cars of over 200 million in the space of how many months. That guy is a billionaire. So he was himself. He stayed true to himself. He was very authentic with his brand and with his personality, and he did not hide or try to act in a way that would please people. He was doing his own thing, and people just saw value in that and just you know started started giving him attention, and he converted that attention to income. That's why attention is equal to income.
Mm. Okay. Bro, like listening to you and following you, there's something I'm observing. It feels like you're obsessed with making a lot of money.
Bruh, I keep on nothing.
What
So
are you running away from?
no, it's not like I'm running away. When you have money, you live a better quality life. You can command stuff. Like money is power, but there's also like power in your words too. And that is why I don't just want to make money. I'm also like trying to influence people with my thoughts. That is power too in its own. When you have power, you have your word, and you put them together, you just stop people. Very dark man came from nothing, and he just had his word, you know, and now he has money too. He has people. The nigga is unstoppable. Nobody can stop him. You can only kill him. Even the guy is also like he also has some stuff in his cupboard, so you can't easily kill someone like that. Yeah,
The people around you, like your parents, do they understand what you do?
they don't. I tried to talk to my dad, about changing the way he thinks, but it will be like after changing the way you think, you still got for money to feed your children. So I mean, I understand where it's coming from, right? But it- it's never too late. You the guy that brought KFC, it was already old when KFC. So your mind, if you put your mind to work, it doesn't matter the age or the time, you would make something for yourself. The mind is very powerful. Like no no demon is more powerful than your mind. Like that is a gift. And most people don't know how to utilize that God has given you. You can use your mind to create what you want. You can also use your mind to kill yourself. So use it wisely.
The 1 million followers, a university degree. Which one do you think has more value, and which one would you take?
1 million followers, of course, because you're going to learn in school, right? Like you're going to become a doctor, you're going to become an engineer. They're already creating AI will start doing your work. There are AIs that can create a simple website, that can create apps. You programmers anymore. The AI that is doing all these things. You feel me? Same with them. They are creating AI that will take your place. So you just you will be replaceable. Be the personal brand. The personal brand is very like when you have a personal brand, you can price something for 10,000 naira and sell it to 1 million people. That's about that 10 million naira. Which university degree will give you that much? There's none. There's none. There is none. Build a personal brand. And that is why people with personal brands, people that have built something for themselves, are making more money than people that are in the open life. Like, since I started content creation, it is you creating something and that will pay off than you going to create something and give your value to the company. I mean, it's not bad. Not everybody would, you know, would be, not everybody would be a content creator. But that is the reality is 1 million followers will always be better than a university degree.
If you could keep one thing, your money or your reputation, which will it be?
My reputation, because if you build your reputation, money is just a byproduct. Money is a byproduct of the kind of rep you build for yourself. If you build a bad rep, you will not make money. I mean, you might make money, but people will not trust you anymore. So that limit a good rep. People will trust you, people would like you, and people will do business with you, and you will make billions of naira or billions of dollars.
What do you hope that people take away from everything you said today?
If you're watching this, I want you to first of all go and reprogram your mind. Replace movies with watching videos on mindset, on making money. Replace listening to music with listening to podcasts. And learn. People don't want to learn these days. Like, let people don't want to learn, and that is why they're not growing. If you're not learning, you're not growing. It's not just about it's not just about going to school. Yes, you're going to school, but you're not actually educating yourself. You are going to school, but you're not being schooled. School yourself. Apart from what you're learning in the four walls of your school, school yourself. Learn content creation. Learn how to make money. Learn how to reprogram your mindset. If you do them and be disciplined to these four things, like be disciplined. I I work out every single day. Everywhere I came in today, I make sure I did over 200 push-ups. I did squats. Working out is more mental than physical. That's what most people think. Oh, people going to gym are useless. Are just wasting their time. Like, nah, it's not just about like when you work out, you know that okay, this is what you're chasing. This physique is what you're chasing. Like you want to be this fit. You know, it doesn't happen overnight. You have to do it over time. So you learn consistency. You learn how to be resilient because that pain, you're able to take in that pain. So when you won't face any kind of pain in real life, because you can take the pain you feel in the gym, it's easy to face that pain. When you stay consistent, it transfers to other areas of your life. You stay consistent with doing other things. You also learn delayed gratification because you know your body will not just become the kind of body you want, instantly. You learn how to put in work in a long period of time to get what you want. And that is what it does to your mind. So working out also helps. If you're stressed, working out to help you to release some to help you to ease your stress and and help you to stay sane. Like working out has really really helped me a lot. I mean, I'm not big and shape, but I have like a good physique, and and I also have the right mindset. Learn about money. And there are books on money. There are videos that are talking about money. This videos and books will program the way you think about money. A lot of people think money is the root of all evil. No, money is not the root of all evil. Money is a tool that helps. It doesn't matter who you are. If you're evil, if you have money, money only enhances the kind of person you are. If you're good, if you make money, you'll be more good. So money is not the root of all evil. Money is not what are the things people say about money? There are a lot of things, there are a lot of crazy things a lot of people say about money. You know, they think rich people are evil people, rich people. Like you can't cause rich people and you want to be rich yourself. Like you can't hate what you can't become what you hate. If you hate rich people, if you think oh rich people are this people are that, you're like you will always be poor. You know. So rich people are not bad people. And so many other stereotypes that people have about money. Like change the way you think about money. We change the way you think about money. Change the way you think about so many other things. Your world will change. And you change your thinking and change your world. But Pastor always talk about this. Jim Rohn talks about this. Brian, read, study these people. Yeah, study the great. Copy what other successful people are doing, and you'll be able to make something for yourself.
Thank you very much. I feel very inspired by everything you said. You really educated us. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time and thank you for being on my podcast. You're welcome.
It's good. It was a pleasure being here, and I hope to do many more of this. I want to share my knowledge with the world, and I hope for many more platforms like this, so that I can reach out to people. A lot of people need this information, but a lot of people are carried away. I mean, nothing is wrong with. I mean, everything is wrong with equal type of content, but that is what Nigerians want to watch. But when we have more type of this kind of content, you know, and we're always pushing more of this kind of content, a lot of people will start seeing these things and start doing them.